this nation, Guatemala, bless we and continue to protect this political party. Amen.
Thank you very much, Honorable Fajao, for that Muslim prayer. We want to call on Honorable Paul Samba Conte to lead us in the Christian prayer. Honorable Paul Samba Conte.
Good morning. Let me all rise there. The Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Good morning once more. Distinguished personalities. Distinguished personalities. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome you to our inaugural press conference. This press conference not only for the party through its members of Parliament. But before we proceed, I think it's but fitting that we recognize the members of Parliament here present. Before I call on them, or before I introduce them, I want to appreciate all of our guests that are here today. Our guests from diplomatic missions, our guests from the press, civil society organizations alike, community stakeholders, party stakeholders, members of the public witnessing our inaugural press conference. I want to thank you for taking your time out of the busy schedule to be here with us. With us, I will start from the front. We have Honorable Advocacy from Butoko, Honorable Paul Conte from Bombali, Honorable Ibrahim Aziz Bangura from Butoko, Honorable Alpha Jao from Falaba, Honorable Mohamed Papa Bangura from Bombali, Honorable Ibrahim Bari from Bombali, Honorable Daniel Pupana from Tongolili, Honorable P.S. Lago from Tongolili, Honorable Mahmoud Kamara from Western Nova, Honorable Hamidu Ula Mansari from Koinadugu, Honorable Jawa Sise from Tokolini, Honorable Sheridan from Gambia, Honorable Mohamed Konse from Falaba, Honorable Abdullahi Kamara from Western London, the Deputy Spokesperson, Honorable Alpha Ben Mazare from Bayama District. With us, of course, we have our leader, Honorable Adukago. We have our Deputy Leader, Honorable Daniel Brahma Kuruma. We have our Deputy Leader too, Honorable Aaron Aruna Kuruma. We have our Chief Whip of the Opposition, Honorable Abdulkarim Kamara from Gambia. We have our Deputy Whip too, in the name of Conte from the Western Rural District. We have our Deputy National Secretary General, Honorable Abdul Usman Zibo. Members of the public, we are also pleased to announce to you that we have our party leadership here with us. As I stated earlier, this press conference is a blessing from the party, an initiative by the party. As APC, as a party, and that is part of governance, it is but fitting that we, as a party and members of Parliament, keep the public abreast with current happenings in the country. Mr. Deputy Chairman, sir, Honorable Dr. Ambassador Usman Fode Hassane, we want to seek your blessing, sir, to start this press conference proper. Mr. Secretary General, our National Secretary General, Lansana Dumbuya Esquire, we also want to seek your blessing to start this press conference proper. With us, we have our National Publicity Secretary. With us, we have our Deputy Organizing Secretary in the name of CS Kumara. Of course, we have our Deputy Whip here, Honorable Catherine Zainab Tarali from Mobali District. Of course, we have our Deputy Publicity Secretary here, Comrade. We have our Treasurer. We have our Chairman of the Western Urban District. But ladies and gentlemen, distinguished personalities, today is a very important day in the history of this country. Today is a very important day in the history of our party. We are here today for so many other things. We are here today because the people need to hear from us. We are here today because we have to come to the people. We are here today because it is important that in present-day democracy, transparency and accountability should be our cornerstone. We are here today because we have a country that we cannot turn our back on. We're here today because we have members of Parliament that have decided that we need to bring Parliament to the people. We're here today because we have a leader of Parliament and a leadership of Parliament that believe that we need to bring Parliament to the people. We're here today because we have national officers in this party that believes we need to bring Parliament to the people. So in this press conference, several issues and many issues will be highlighted. Issues bordering on the economy, issues bordering on crisis, governance crisis and economic crisis in the country will be addressed, as well as questions that the public will have for us. However, as I call this meeting to order, I have an obligation here to ensure that this press conference is moderated by somebody that is no stranger to the public. somebody that is no stranger to the international community or even to all Australians across this country. So it is my unique opportunity as we proceed and as we all have glued to your seats to introduce the person that will be taking us through this program, who is no other person but our National Publicity Secretary, Comrade C.D. Anthony. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dr. Onfa Program. Deputy National Chairman Alhaji Dr. Usman and Snake, our National Secretary General, members of the leadership of the party, as well as the leadership of the party in Parliament, comrades, all members of the Fourth Estate, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. As you've heard from Dr. Onfa Kroma, this is an inaugural press conference called by the members of Parliament through the party to update the general public on happenings in the party, activities in the Parliament, and so many burning issues affecting the lives of the people of this country. As you all know, since the election in 2023, the party has gone through so many phases in dealing with different activities as they emerge. Just after the elections, we challenged the results and the outcome of the election, of course, and through that, we have a diplomatic conference which engaged us with the resolutions for national unity. Following that, we had the tripartite committee set up, which is focused on electoral reforms and other issues. And from time to time, we have been updating the membership of the party and the general public on happenings in the tripartite committee. That notwithstanding, activities have been happening in the party as well as in Parliament. And so, for those who have been asking what is the party doing or what is Parliament doing, this press conference is an opportunity for you to be abreast with happenings in Parliament and happenings in the party. Today, you will hear from our members of Parliament and you will hear from the leadership of the party as well as to how we have been addressing issues of national concern and how we intend to continue to address issues of national concern. Monthly, you hear from our members of Parliament. But in addition to that, you also now regularly hear from the party as well through press conferences and other means. Having said that, let me take this opportunity again to welcome you all, members of the Fourth Estate Civil Society and members of diplomatic missions, to this press conference. This morning, you will hear from our National Secretary General, who will give us updates as to happenings in the party on everything we need to know about activities in the party so far. We will also hear from the leader of the House of Parliament, our party leader in the House of Parliament, Honorable Advocacy. We were supposed to have a member here from the tripartite committee. I mean, even though we have been updating you on the tripartite activities, but we know it is a committee in which everyone is eager to always hear developments as to how far they've gone and how much is left to be done. But unfortunately, we will not have someone today because they are busy with recruitment of staff that are supposed to assist in completing their work. We'll also hear from our Deputy National Chairman, and then we'll take questions for you, members of the press. Having said that, it is now my single honor to invite the National Secretary General, Comrade Lansana Dumbuya Esquire. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chinis. Indeed, today is the beginning of a journey not only in the life of the party but also in the life of the APC members of Parliament. That is the Parliamentary, the APC Parliamentary group or caucus in Parliament. Today is the Maiden beginning of series of press conferences that will be held. As today is the start, that is why we are having it here in our party offices. And the intention of the caucus is that they will be moving around within Freetown and outside Freetown so that you will be abreast of what is going on. I think there is no other appropriate time than now. I'll be speaking on 5 points, but very briefly, 5 points. Firstly, I'll give you a summary of what has happened so far in the tripartite committee, and also I believe you want to hear from me on this. I'll be addressing the issue of readmitting members who left the party. All of them, not one person. I'll be addressing that very briefly. Thirdly, I will also talk about the party's position on the recent statement made by the president regarding the threat. And that is, if I can just put it briefly, the recent statement, that is the bullet for bullet statement. We'll make just a briefly what's the party position regarding that. And we'll also talk briefly about frequent arrests against members of the party. And finally, I will also give you a summary of the registration process. A good number of you who are out there, continuing members of the party, and also those who want to come to the party, join the party, you are very much eager to know the processes and also when it's going to start. Let me take you immediately to the tripartite committee. We all know the history behind the formation of the tripartite committee. It was as a result of the dissatisfaction of the APC party, and not only the party, but a huge number of the populace of this country about the outcome of the 2023 June election. We felt that not only the party, but even the international the international election observers, we have the local and international. They were also of the view that the tallying process was not done properly. As a result, the results that came out never reflected what was supposed to have come out of the process. So, as a result of that, we withdrew our participation across the board. Members of Parliament, councillors, mayors, we withdrew our participation in governance. And as a result of that, the standstill, and nothing much happened at that time. And the government, realizing that they cannot move without the participation of the APC, decided that we should have mediation effort, which eventually happened, and we went to Maiden money. And it was in that conference at Maiden money that the tripartite committee was created, amongst other committees that were created. So far, I spoke to the co-chair, that is the APC head, who is no other person than Dr. Parliamentary. I spoke to him, and he asked me to pass this on to you, that the tripartite committee, and we also are aware of that. They worked relentlessly. They have gone a long way. It was a very difficult journey trying to put the TOR together, accepting the TOR from either side, but eventually it was agreed upon, and both parties signed, and now we are in the process of implementing it. Started. As I'm speaking to you now, Dr. Kafran also close to here today, but because we are working on some interviews with NCRA and PPIC and some other electoral bodies, he was unable to be here today, but they are trying to interview a good number of electoral bodies, and I think they're going to be doing that on to the end of this week. But nevertheless, we will be having a press conference in the next few days on the tripartite committee to abreast you of what has happened so far, because we have also analyzed our own results. There is rumors out there that we do not have our reforms, we do not have results, but I think this is the appropriate time to be analyzing our own results, which we have also decided to put forward to the committee, to the tripartite committee, to look at the APC result, coupled back up with our reforms which we have. Because I've had a good number of people out there say that we do not have our reforms. We do have them. And so we'll have a press conference where Dr. Kafran and his team will lead us through what they have done so far and the present development. Now, immediately, let me talk about the admission of members into our party. Well, I'm aware that the process of any organization, institutions in the country or wherever you are, internationally, that comes a time when people leave that institution for one reason or the other. Whether you are asked out of the institution or you, by your own volition, leave the institution. So, in the convention, which was held February last year, which ushered in a good number of us into the executive positions that we are holding now, it was agreed that all those members, irrespective of how you left the party, whether you are asked out or whether you left of your own position, if you want to come back to the party, you are to be readmitted to the party in compliance with the 2022 APC Constitution. And I want to be clear on this. Let me be clear on this. The APC Constitution is very, very detailed and clear on how people who have been asked out of the party or who left the party who want to come back. The Constitution is clear. That is Article 10 of the APC Constitution. It's very clear that if you are coming back when you have left or when you've been asked out, you are to be readmitted. There is nothing in our Constitution about reinstatement, because we've had that talk. The social media is full with that kind of, back and forth, talking about readmission, reinstatement. It's good, they're not good. If people want to give their own narrative, it's fine. But we have to know that from the party's position and from the decision of the party. What we did when we asked the former president Samsumana, when we had the deliberation with him, the deliberation we had with him was for him to be admitted to the party. It was clear, it was unambiguous, and there was no misinterpretation about that. Just want to clear that. And when we had that meeting, we were invited the former vice president, Honorable Samsumana. We also made it clear that that decision was not only for him alone. It was not only for him alone. It was for all of us who left the party, wanting to come back, or who were asked out of the party and want to come back to the party. They will be admitted and will go through the necessary process. Now, in the past few days, we had from the president through the video that is circulating in the social media about a statement which we feel was really, really unfortunate. It was not a statement to have been made by the president, but nevertheless, it has come from him. So, it has come from the president. So, therefore, as the opposition, we have to address whatever comes out of that statement. We feel that no president, or no political party, or no institution is supposed to make any statement threatening the citizens of this country. We're all aware that if anyone is involved in any criminal activities, the law will take its course. Nevertheless, if you feel that somebody is against you, you should not make threatening statements against that person. Because we have the law. There is law and order in Sierra Leone. You should go and report, or you bring that person to book, not to make a threat against that person, irrespective of your position, whether you're president, whether you're a minister, whether you are an ordinary citizen. The law applies to each and every one cut across the board. So we believe that the SLPP and the APC should be working together to unify this country and not to divide this country. And that is very, very key for the APC. Now, we also want to bring to the attention of the government and also the law enforcement officers and also to the general public that the APC is very, very dissatisfied with the way and manner in which the APC members, executive members, and also ordinary members are being arrested willy-nilly, simply because they are APC. That is the reason why they've been arrested. So we want to advise the government, we want to advise the law enforcement institution that for you to arrest somebody, there are rules and regulations. We have a procedure to do it. But we have noticed that in the past few months, people are arrested on baseless accusation or baseless complaint from SLPP executive members in their constituency. That will not lead us anywhere. If you receive a complaint, you look into it, assess it before you proceed to invite that person to the station. But you don't just invite the person, you keep him behind bars for several days, and then later on you realize that you don't have anything against him, and then you release him with no compensation. That is not how it works. So we want to advise that the APC will not tolerate that, the APC is not going to stand for that, and the APC will fight against any injustice or anything that go against the rule of law. Let me by because I'm sure the members of Parliament, the Parliamentary caucus, they are very, they are at an edge right now to say, Secretary General, we have a lot to talk, you know, you are just to only spice off things for us to come in and take the lead. So now, let me conclude with the registration process. It has been a difficult time. We left the convention. We've not been engaged in any registration process. That is not because the executive is negligent on that particular aspect, but it is just because we want to do things right. We don't want to begin and then we're bogged down and we're stuck and we create some serious obstacle along the way, and we stop and we are not able to do what we started. So we have looked at the process and we realized that we should inject some checks and balances into the registration process, which we have done. And because we have injected those checks and balances, we know that we have to go to people and explain to them, sensitize them about the new checks and balances, so that when we start, we will not have any problems. So in the next few days, maybe a week, but I don't think we should go beyond 2 weeks, we will, as secretariat, be going around in different districts all over the country to explain the new process and how it works, and also how people are supposed to take it along. We want every one of us to cooperate with the process, because it will benefit not only the party but the members and each and every one of you. So we want you all to be aware that you will be at your door, when I mean at your door, at your district. The next few days will be there so that we can give you all the details. Also, we will be putting out to members a kind of video educational process as to how it works, so that when you have it on your mobile, you will be able to follow the process and it will be smooth when we get going. So we want you to be patient with us, because most of you have been coming to the party office when we start registration. It's going to start. And also some people have been saying, well, if it does not start at this particular point in time, we're going to decentralize, and all the rest of it we're going to start very soon. And when we start, please, we want you to make use of that opportunity. And once you come in, it will be counted for the day in which your application comes in. So we don't want you to bother that much about that, because we still have time within that window of period which you are looking at in the Constitution. We will be able to inject the process and start the process. So I want to thank you very much for listening, and I also want to say to you that the leadership of the party, those of them that are not here, they've asked me to extend their gratitude to the Parliamentary caucus, and to also let you know that they will also be addressing you in due course. But for now, I think the Deputy Chairman is here. I think even if the others are not here, when you hear from the Deputy Chairman, I think you are comforted, because when it comes to knowing the nitty-gritties of what is to be known, of what is, what you are supposed to know, I think the Ambassador Alhaji Dr. Usman Fode and Sanai will be able to give you all you need to know. And I was saying to Abu Kago before I end that Honorable Mufa, when he was introducing my deputy chairman, if he had missed any of the titles, it would have led him to trouble not to be awarded. So I want to thank you once more, and I pass on the mic to the National Publicity Secretary for his contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our able MSG. Members of the Fourth Estate, you've heard from the National Secretary General of the APC. We call these press conferences because we want you to have factual information from the authentic source of the party. We all know that the social media is flooded with many different positions on issues, whether bordering on the party or issues bordering on the nation. Which is why it is very much important that when we attend these press conferences, we help the leadership of the party to disseminate the official position of the party on national issues and on party issues. You just heard from the National Secretary General. I hope he has cleared the air on some of the thorny issues that you've been hearing or you've been reading on social media. And we hope and pray that after today, you will help us disseminate the facts. We have a lot of opportunity today as members of the Fourth Estate to get more facts out. And I say this because this room is full of members of Parliament from the opposition APC. After this press conference, I ask that you engage them in the form of interviews so that you'll be abreast with happenings in Parliament and you will have more to put out to the public for the next 1 or 2 weeks, because we have the brains here. They are young, energetic, experienced statesmen and women. I have no doubt in them. They are competent enough. They are experienced enough to give you the facts. From their performance in Parliament, we see, and even though they are less in number, they are more competent than some of the people we hear from regularly. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades all, may I have your attention, please? It is now time for me to bring you our members of Parliament. Months ago, during an interview, I did say to you, the people of Sierra Leone, that the APC, this current APC, is one that is responsible and is one that will engage on national issues constructively and responsibly. And so far, I don't think we have fallen short in doing just that. Our representatives in Parliament have been excellent. The national executive of the party has been excellent in pursuing issues that will alleviate the sufferings of the people of Sierra Leone. In 2018, we were told that the people of Sierra Leone are tired of buying a bag of rice at 200,000 leones. That price was so exorbitant that they could not afford it. We were promised lesser price, something lesser than 200,000. Today, many of us are buying a bag of rice at over 1 million leones. We don't know which one is more expensive, 200,000 or 1 million. We were told that we are paying a lot for energy, electricity. We were promised lesser tariff. But today we are paying 5 times more than what we paid in 2018. The same will go for fuel, petrol, from 6,000 a litre in 2018 to 30,000 a litre today. From free healthcare for pregnant women, lactating mothers, and children under 5 in 2018 to unaffordable healthcare costs that we are grappling with as a nation. Our members of parliament have been fighting and advocating to ensure that these issues which are burning the people of Sierra Leone are addressed adequately by government. Sometimes debates of ayes or nays will turn to ayes will turn to nay. Sometimes civil debates saw emergence of police, OSDs in the well of parliament, kicking and booting members of parliament out. Yet, they've remained resolute, they've remained committed to fighting for the people of Sierra Leone. It is now my pleasure to call on the Deputy Leader of the House of Parliament who will address us, and thereafter the Leader of the House of Parliament will give a statement. Honorable David, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. The Deputy Leader, Deputy Chairman, of our People's Congress Party, and our national officers, the Leader of Parliamentary, the Peace Parliamentary Group, and team, colleague members of Parliament, members of the diplomatic and consular corps, members of the press. I say good morning. Today is an inaugural meeting of the FPC Parliamentary Group press conference. And as a result, we don't intend to give details, just highlights. And my special assignment here by my leader is to brief you on current happenings in this 6th Parliament. Current happenings, I categorize them into two. The areas we are doing well and the areas that have challenges. In the first place, one of the procedures in Parliament is that every activity in Parliament is being pioneered by a committee called Business Committee. Business Committee determines what should be included on the agenda of Parliament, which we refer to as order paper. That Business Committee, at the start of this 6th Parliament, started very well. It started very well. The only concern is that lately, meeting of that Business Committee has been suspended in one way or the other. But it has not yet gone out of hands. So as a result, 2 days ago, I discussed the issue with my leader, and then we vowed to meet the leader of government business, who is the chairman of the Business Committee, to ensure full participation of all members of the Business Committee. So that area has not yet gone out of hands. For now, it's okay. And we cannot sit down until it goes very bad. So we engage the leader of government business as chairman of the Business Committee. In terms of enactment of bills, I must say that the relationship has been cordial so far. There's collaboration, there's consultation, and sometimes we agree to disagree. And that is part of parliamentary life. It is not unparliamentary. But so far on enactment of bills, it cannot be 100%, but it has been good so far. And I'm pleased to inform this House and members of the public, especially the press, that there's a very important bill before us right now, which is the criminal procedure bill. That criminal procedure bill touches and concerns every citizen and non-citizen resident in this country and even outside. So as a result, even today, had it not been for this press conference, I would have been participating in that committee right now, because the bill had been committed under ISO 51 to the legislative committee, of which I'm a member, and it is not my wish to be absent in any way or form. But there are key provisions in that bill of which I need to give my own input. Just one, I will tell you just one. One of those provisions, just one, is the provision for jury system. Jury system, we all know bills are proposals for the attention of Parliament. So there's a proposed provision that the numbers will be cut down from 12 to 10. So for now, I think, in my candid opinion, that should be okay. And I believe the system generally will stay. The Attorney General Minister of Justice only proposed 12 to 10. But the jury system should survive. It should stay. It should not be taken out of the Criminal Procedure Act at all for so many reasons. So for information, it might be cut down from 12 to 10, but it will stay. But for a final decision to be taken, myself as member of the legislative committee, I need to be there. That's very key. We've passed all the bills. Like yesterday, we passed the Industrial Relations Act. It's not yet an act, but it has gone through the third reading. So it's now to be sent to the President for his assent, and then it will become an act. It has very good provisions, and that will be good for the workforce of this country. Another event that took place in Parliament, which I'm really proud of, based on the proceedings, how things went about, is the election of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker. The election of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker, number one, the Constitution was strictly followed and adhered to. For the election of Speaker, if he fails to secure 2/3 majority, then there is room for 3 bites, 3 rounds. And if he fails, based on the constitutional provision, the 4th round will now be simple majority. And with the blessing of the leadership of the parliamentary group and also the leadership of the party, I was nominated by the party to represent you as candidate for Speaker. It went on very well. You will really see democracy at play. And that is the first time after the 4th Parliament when I witnessed, I participated the election of Speaker and Deputy Speaker from start to finish. We participated fully and everything went on very well. I think it's a failure to our cap as members of the 6th Parliament. So now, for your information, we now have a new Speaker and a new Deputy Speaker, who we are both elected strictly on constitutional provisions and compliance. I'm also pleased to announce to you that to some extent, suspension of ISO 52 has been minimized. Because for me personally, I was never comfortable with suspension of ISO 52. Some of you would like to know what. Parliament is supposed to start proceedings at 10 sharp. So once you start later than 10, you need to that requires you at 10. Failing to do so, all proceedings will be declared null and void. So by procedure, you have to suspend SO 52. And that suspension, SO 52 has been crying foul for years. In fact, throughout the fifth Parliament. But for now, I'm pleased to announce to you that that one has minimized. It has been minimized. Areas not too good. Areas not too good. Under SO 19, members of Parliament have the free hand to identify burning issues within the society, within the country, and then also identify the relevant ministry, department, or agency that is charged with the responsibility of taking care of those issues. And if the member thinks those issues are not being addressed properly or timely, then you can stand on SO 19 and invite the relevant minister or the relevant director or commissioner to explain to the House why things are going out of hand and what is their plan to ensure that there is total control. So, for instance, the worker fine bosses that deliberately excludes registered vehicles, duly registered vehicles to ply the main road from bus station to Lumley, and then from PZ to Calabar. As I speak to you, they are being excluded. No boda or keke or any other transport vehicle, even if you are duly registered to run as transport within those routes, they are being excluded. So we invited the minister. I announced to the House that I intend to invite the minister under SO 19 to explain to this House why that decision. But at the end of the day, it never saw the light of day. We were never allowed. So that has not gone well. And there are so many other issues. For instance, the prolonged fear crisis. You listen to the PRA and the government side, they pull out precedents that there is fear. There is no cause for concern. There is no need to worry. But when you go to the filling station, the practice on the ground, there is no fear. There is no fear. So that is another provision, another instance where the members can invite the Minister of Trade and head of PRA to explain to the House. But we are never given that opportunity. And then, of course, this one was very disappointing because we did all we could to avoid what we are forced to. That is the interview and approval process of the ECSL commissioner for his reappointment to continue as commissioner for the Southern Province. Appointment or reappointment of any commissioner of ECSL based on section 32, subsection 3, you need to consult all registered political parties.
So on your side will be accurate people is ready. African love ENT. Episode of Una le we bia, le we pitcher. Episi le kamako. Una le we correct, le we no fet we say. Kamako, le we no lose up. Episi le kamako. Le we learn for the play we say. Episi le kamako. Na de we dey. Episi, na de we dey. Le kamako. Na de we dey. Episi, na de we dey. Yeah, we victory, victory for us. In the struggle of APC, victory for us. Let we not fetch we settle, let we not cause we settle, let we not blame nobody. We collect we serve, let we stand together. So APC go calm. Papa check it honest, we not tell we say. We collect we serve. Una let we be a, let we pitcher. APC le kamako. Una let we correct, let we no fet we say. Kamako, let we no lose up. APC le kamako. Let we learn for the play we say. APC le kamako. Na de we dey. APC, na de we dey. Le kamako. Na de we dey. APC, na de we dey. You feel no be no try make it no post say APC na the best party. APC party, yeah. Na the best party, na the best party. Them and me, una don't rape, APC they come on. Hey young boy, una be a young girl. APC they come on. Do ya, let we not fet we say, we not fet we say. So that's why we go win the battle, yeah. Una let we be a, let we pitcher. APC they come back home. Una let we correct, let we not fet we say. Come back home. Let we not lose up. APC they come back home. Let we learn for the play we set. APC they come back home. Now they we dey. Now they we dey. Come back home. Now they we dey. APC. Now they we dey. Party A, party B, it no make sense. It no make sense. I say party B, party C, it no make sense. It no make sense. All the yuki, that we no make sense. It no make sense. We for no say now what APC we get. No talk to APC we get. Now that we dey, now that we dey, now that we dey. APC, now that we dey, now that we dey, now that we dey. APC, super boy. Overtaking is allowed. Super boy. Overtaking is allowed. Super boy. Una let we be a, let we pitcher. APC le kamako. Una let we correct, let we no fet we say. Kamako, let we no lose up. APC le kamako. Let we learn for the play we set. APC le kamako. Na de we dey. APC, na de we dey. Le kamako. Na de we dey. APC.